With the 400 people that you interviewed, the 400 women, what were the commonalities you found in their stories? Like, obviously the leaving abruptly part, but
Yes.
what about was there like a midlife crisis kind of thing going on? Because I'm just trying to understand where this all of a sudden behavior is coming from.
Right. Yeah. And this was the thing that blew me away. When I got the questionnaires back and I sat in my office and I started reading them one after the other, I'm like, oh my God, like this is like scary. It's eerie. It's almost like all of the men had been reading from the same playbook.
Oh my gosh.
And so that they often informed their wives that they were leaving in the middle of a mundane conversation. Like, for
Mm,
example, in my case, I had been on the road for 23 days on a book tour for my previous book about sister relationships. And I came home, and that the night that I came home, my husband came home from work and I said to him, I bought fish. And he said, it's over. And I said, okay, if you don't want fish, we can have something else.
right.
And he said, no, it's over. The marriage is over. So that's how I was informed. And then he packed up and left. But that's how I was informed that the marriage was over. And when I read these questionnaires, like one after the other, they're getting ready to go to the market on a Saturday morning and they're in the car. And he says, I've booked an apartment or I'm moving out this afternoon. Or she comes home from work and the moving van has already taken half the stuff out of the house and she knew nothing about it. But very often it's a very everyday mundane conversation in which he informs her that he's leaving. And very often in almost all the cases, the reasons the husband gives for leaving are bizarre, trivial, crazy reasons, like you leave too many crumbs on the counter, or there's too many shoes by the front door, or, I don't like the way you do this, that, or the other thing, things that are the kinds of things that people could talk about and resolve. And so the women are like, what? He's leaving for that? He's not saying any major problem in the relationship.
Right.
Um, Typically he's leaving for another woman. And so, and then, what I said earlier, which is that then he belittles the whole relationship. He says things that blow her mind. Like he says, I never loved you. We've been together 34 years, but I never loved you. It's been bad from the beginning. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like it totally screws up her sense of reality. And
Mm.
so these are among the sort of the common things that happen post, the husband leaving.